And I think it was easy years ago to say, gosh, how do you have time to think like that?
Mm.
And I think now the question is, how do you not have time to think like that? Because if you're still spending all your hours in all the stuff that AI could be doing, you're just missing the opportunity to connect in the way that AI never will be able to.
Hmm.
And that is through being human beings.
This is Leadership Sound Bites. Real leaders, real moments, real growth.
Welcome to this week's episode of Leadership Soundbites. My very special guest, Kyle Draper, Coach Kyle. Here's the intro. Are you ready for this? And I love this. Former pastor, turned roofer, now serial
Yep.
entrepreneur. Um, the backdrop that you have, those books, it's not like there's different colors of the same book. And so I know you have a quote, and
I do.
I have to thank Alan Nippers, right?
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you. I want to make sure I get the name right, for connecting us. Um,
Absolutely.
so I so appreciate that. In fact, he went out of his way because it was like on LinkedIn first, and then he goes, Kyle's not going to respond on LinkedIn, and then it was text, and I'm like, okay, we are connected now.
He made it happen.
Yeah, I know. I love that. So please, your quote, and then I want you to share with people what you've got going on in your background, how that came about, because I think it's a cool
Of
story
course.
and that mission that you're on.
So my quote, it's from a marketing book. The book is called Marketing Secrets by a guy named Russell Brunson who created ClickFunnels.
Okay, well, I know
And
Russell.
and so here's the setup for this quote. I am a marketing guy now, but I used to be a pastor, but I still believe I'm a pastor inside of the work I do in the business world. And so I think all of that is good to know when you hear this quote. So here it is. You've been blessed with talents, ideas, and unique abilities that have gotten you to where you are in life. And these gifts were given to you so you could share them with others. There are people today who need what you have, and they are waiting for you to find your voice so you can help them change their lives. What a tragedy for them if you don't develop your voice now. And it's one
Um,
of my favorite quotes.
what did that do for you?
It it gave me permission to realize that I lack nothing to
Mm.
go out and serve people right now. Because it's so easy, Michelle, to go, well, if I'd been a C-level person at that company, then obviously I could do that too. And if I got my chance like she got, then obviously I could do. And we're always looking for reasons why we don't need to get out of our comfort zone, why we don't need to take the extra step. And when I read that quote, it was just like a slap in the face of like, Kyle, bro, you have everything you need already inside of you. And there's people right now that are desperate for what you have. But gosh, what a tragedy if they don't know you exist. And so let's go shout it from the rooftops, knowing that everyone's not going to love me, but I only need a few people to. And and so I've used this quote for as long as this book has been out to encourage and inspire people to tell their story, to go get out there. And I love it. It fires me up.
You know what hit me when you were talking is one of the main barriers I have to reaching out and outreach is this whole sales stigma that's around it.
Yeah,
And that freaking quote flipped it on its ear and
that's
said,
it.
this isn't about selling. This is about serving.
That's right.
And to your point, or the in the quote is you have something that people need. I mean, I had a client this morning, she's like,
Yeah,
Michelle, the difference that you've made in my life in 3 months, we've met 4 times,
yeah,
is phenomenal. She said, my manager sees it. I feel it. I have a completely different perspective. And that's the kind of stuff that I think a quote like that is the reminder to go,
That's right.
people need to experience life differently.
Yeah.
And it's not selling, it's offering a service. And so I don't know about anyone else, but I needed to hear that today.
Good.
So thank
You're
you.
very welcome. I needed to hear it last night when I was like, oh man, I gotta go because I knew I wanted that quote, but I didn't want to misrepresent it by remembering it.
Yeah.
And so I was in my office at 10:30 last night trying to find the book yeah, and so I I was re-blessed by just reading through it last
Mhm.
night and again this morning. And so I'm glad that you were too.
I was. So your job here is done. Thanks for your time. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks for having me.
It's a great, shortest podcast in history. Talk to the books behind you that are like your backdrop
Yeah.
because I love that
So
story.
so a little over 3 years ago, my wife and I were in Mexico celebrating our anniversary, and I couldn't sleep. And so at 2 in the morning, I'm pacing through our dark hotel room, and all of a sudden I felt like God said, "Go sit on the porch and write a book." And I thought, who would read a book that I would write? I'm not great at anything. I haven't accomplished, something insurmountable, but I just couldn't shake it. So I went out on the patio, and I wrote 4 chapters of my book. And we got back home, and I was like, well, dang, I've got 4 chapters done. I can't leave it like this. So I wrote the remaining 9 chapters, and then my team helped me publish my book. And the book was called Rethink Everything You Know About Social Media. And it's this purple book, if you're watching this, over my left shoulder. And I wrote this book, and Michelle, I thought I was done. I was like, yes, we did it. We're done. And all of a sudden, people started giving me this feedback of like, rethink everything. We love that concept. My book was about social media, rethink everything you know about social media. And so people weren't telling me how great my book was. They loved the title. And so what I have been taught to do from my parents is, when I don't know the answer, I pray. Right? Like that's all I know to do. And so I just stopped and was like, God, am I missing something? Or did you trick me? Did you tell me to write a book because you really wanted me to do something bigger, but you knew I would say no if you told me that first? And the answer is yes. And so that week I was on a podcast just like this, and the guy that was interviewing me, he said, "Man, I love your book. What's like the vision for it?" And I said, "Well, funny you should ask. I just got clarity on that a few days ago. I want this to become a series where we kind of become the new age book for dummies, and we just start writing about anything under the sun. And like that, he became my co-author on our second book,
Oh,
which
I
is the
love that.
green book over my right shoulder. And that was for the mortgage world. And we used 39 people to write that book. Everybody contributed a chapter. It was unbelievable. We were a bestseller on Amazon for 19 days in a row. And
Wow.
then people just started coming out of the woodworks. All right, like, who can we write a book about this? And what about a book about that? And have you ever thought about doing that? And so we wrote 3 and then 4 and then 5. We have book number 10 coming out at the start of the new year. We've got 6 to 7 books in production right now that'll be out in 2026.
I love
And
it.
we're just having fun writing about anything and everything. And it's been incredible. The people that I've met through this 3 year journey, and God told me we're going to write 300 of these books, and so we're just getting started.
No
And if
kidding.
anybody listening has a book in their heart, an idea in their head, we would love to help be the group of people that brings it to fruition.
I I love that. The thing that I wonder about is what is a topic or a couple topics that you're like, I never in a million years thought that that isn't even something that people would be interested in or that we would
W-
publish.
We are we have a book right now in production that is rethink everything you know about craft beer.
Okay.
and I don't drink beer. I'm not a fan of it, but she was a part of our newest book that's out now, our networking book.
Yeah.
And we met, and she's an influencer in the craft beer space.
Oh, okay.
And so we met at a party to launch the book, and we just started talking. And I say weird things all the time. And I was like, you know what? I think we could write a beer book. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, why not? Why? Like, most people probably don't understand like how craft beer works and what that means. And so I'm going to get a really good beer education when this book comes out. And we're pairing with like small, bar owners. We're pairing with, people that they make different types of beer in the craft beer
Yeah.
community. And it's going to be fascinating. There will be a group of people passionate about it, and we're we're going to see how it goes.
I love that. I love it. So what's next?
So next is a home buyer book. And so we have pulled a
Oh,
group of
that's
people together.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So we've
there's so
pulled
much changing and happening and
absolutely. And so
yeah.
we've pulled mortgage people together. We've pulled real estate people together. We've pulled title people in, just people from all. I think we have an economist that's in it. And really the heartbeat of the book is it's getting harder and harder to buy a house every
Hmm.
day, yet people still want them. It's still the American dream. And
Hmm.
so, can we be the consumer facing book that it's not written by a mortgage company that's really just trying to use it for lead generation?
Right.
We've truly written this like giving, like we have an insurance agent that's writing in it that's giving tips on like how to shop your mortgage insurance because that's getting really hard.
Yeah.
And so that's coming out early January, and we're excited about it. We've got a basically like a rethink everything you know about starting a business.
Okay.
And a friend of mine that's been a wildly successful businesswoman, she has basically put her blueprint of how she starts a business on paper. And so that's coming out next month. We've got a recruiting book coming out teaching companies how to recruit. Eh, I
I
don't know
love
how we're
it.
doing this.
What about something around the AI space?
So we have a couple different AI book ideas floating
Okay.
around,
Yeah.
but we haven't landed the plane on either one of them yet.
Yeah, because there's just something when I think about AI, because I got exposed to it probably 2.5 years ago or so.
Yeah,
And what I've come across, and you may experience with people because you meet a lot of people, is there's such a fear around it. So you've got people that are either zealots all in that this is the thing that's going to fix the world. And then you've got another camp of people, and there's other camps in between, obviously, that are
right.
just like, just gonna stay away, and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
this too shall pass kind of thing. And there's got to be something about dipping your toe in the water and incorporating in basic things that you're not feeling threatened, but you're like taking advantage of
Yeah.
the efficiencies, the ease, the all the stuff that you can do. I mean, as a great thought partner, it'd be interesting. Um,
So I actually the way my brain works, the moment you said that, I text my buddy that we've been talking about an AI book for a year. I text him while you were unpacking that thought and was like, "Hey, is it time for the book? I think we need to get this book going."
yeah,
Uh, because one of the things that we talked about in that book, so he's a strong Christ follower like myself,
yes,
and so we've had those conversations about people thinking it's the Antichrist and
yeah,
people that and the reality is that we could make a list of 1,000 things that can be used for good, but can also in the wrong hands be used for evil.
mm-hmm,
Right, we can make a list of things in moderation that are great, but then things in excess that then can become evil, right? And
mm-hmm,
so to kind of ostracize like this one thing that AI is evil, I think is kind of a crazy concept
yeah,
because now more than ever, the only thing you and I want more of is time.
mm-hmm.
And AI gives it because it does things for me that would have taken me 3 hours at Starbucks.
or
and it gives it to me
days.
in 60 seconds.
Days. And then all of a sudden the angst, for me, I look at it and stuff
Yeah,
that was just painful for me. I mean, it was like
right.
the last thing that I wanted to do, painful. And all
Yep.
of a sudden, like I love editing and updating things, rewriting, all that stuff. But blank page, I'm like, I can
Sure.
talk a story. I don't want to write a story.
Yeah,
And it's allowed me then to just stuff that you paid so much money in healthcare for transcription services,
right.
I have with Gemini or ChatGPT that it's like, let me just live stream my thoughts right now. Let
Yeah.
me just do it and then let's pull it and package it. So now all of a sudden I'm not like painfully writing, which totally stopped the flow of thinking.
It's incredible. And I know this episode's not about AI, or we're not, I'm sure we're probably not
Are
going to
you
talk about the
sure?
whole
Are
time.
you
Maybe
sure?
it is. Maybe we are. But I want to share something that I think is super impactful with AI that I don't see very many people doing. And so
Yeah.
for several years, I talked to a lot of people who are like, I've tried it and I just didn't feel like it was me. It didn't sound like me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so what we do now and what we teach people to do is, if you know your DISC assessment, if you know your Myers-Briggs, if you know your Colby, if you know your strength finders, right? All of those tests, if you will feed it into the instruction setting of
Hmm.
Chat GPT,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable how much better the feedback is when it starts doing it as someone who is the same as you. And so people are blown away when we tell them that. And so hopefully somebody listening or watching this
Well,
is
and
like, oh my
I
gosh.
haven't. It's so funny, Kyle, because I mean, I use the knowledge, I use the voice, the advanced voice to be able to distill and get my brand voice as I'm talking and
Yeah,
answering questions and all that stuff. But I never thought about when you're talking about DISC because it's DISC, it could be saboteur assessment from Coach Herzog with positive intelligence. It could be
yeah,
all the stuff that you're talking about that it takes in the I'm going to call it dimensions
right,
of your personality and like for me I think in bullet points,
right.
I mean like boom 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 and and far as input information in bullet points, if you give me long paragraph narrative stuff I'm like yeah
Yeah,
yeah pass.
sure.
So
Well, and like I have two business partners that are high D's.
yeah
So
yeah that's me.
they're direct all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And they come across as being mean, rude, abrasive, and it's just them living in their strengths. I am a high I. And then if you've ever taken strength finders, my number one belief is or strength is positivity.
okay,
And so I'm more bubbly and
yeah,
fun, and it's like if you don't tell it to write like that, it'll get you wrong every time.
yeah, yeah. And there's
And
a
so it's
dramatic
super cool.
difference and the degree that you step in. So I got certified in DISC and I'm DCI and they're kind of
Okay.
all similar now. They're not strong, but they're all above the line and my yeah, obviously the S is below. But in that space and we change over time. So and people
Yeah.
are like, well, 10 years ago I got and it's like, okay, but that was 10 years ago. And the stuff that influences this stuff, it's not like your DNA. Your environment influences how you were raised, your role models. And so as we go through life and we get exposed to different things, it's like your your different degrees of what you have. And it could be
Yeah.
stronger into I now, the more confidence you have, the quote that resonates with you, that you're stepping into yourself and you're not holding yourself back as we experience life and we go through stuff, you're like, your eye may have been down here before, and now it's like really up here because
Yep.
you have this degree of like, I'm all in, man. I'm all about people. Let's connect. Let's
That's right.
storytelling, all the stuff. And it's just, it's an interesting thing that I never thought of putting that dimension into chat so that the voice and the tone of writing is more to who you really are.
Right.
I was listening to a podcast the other day and she was talking about AI and she goes, you know what? I don't even call it AI anymore. I just call it intelligence. And she
Sure.
said, I believe it's part of our evolution. So, and what she was talking about is we went through this period recently, and we're still in that space because when the quality of the images and other stuff got so good, we're like, is that real? Is it
Right.
AI? Is it?
Yeah.
And her perspective, which I have to agree, because I love this word curiosity, is we need to be more curious to go, is it? And it's not just with AI stuff, it's with information that's floating out in the world to
Yeah.
go, before I respond to this thing or react to this thing or have an opinion about this thing, let me find out, is it real? Is it actually fact? Or is it based on someone's made up story about something?
Right.
And so AI in her thing with intelligence is just part of our evolution as we develop and become more discerning and understand. So you're not just like blindly following whatever's going along. And I appreciated that opinion
Sure.
about it.
Yeah, I think, for a long time, intelligence was one of the easiest ways to kind of rate people
Hmm.
and compare to one another. And I think really with the power of AI, the fact that with ChatGPT, I have access to every data point known to man
Hmm.
like that. I think now it's making emotional intelligence the most valuable thing that we can have because now I don't like we don't have to go, well, I agree to disagree. Like we can know in seconds who's right. And so at the end of the day, the highly emotionally intelligent person is going to be able to go, okay, well, just because now I have that knowledge, knowledge is power, but if I don't wield it correctly, right, emotional intelligence, then I'm going to end up as this jerk that nobody wants to be around. And so so how do we take this heightened ability to know things, but also remember that what AI will never be is human.
Hmm.
And so I've got to be more human than I ever have before because that's the only thing now that we know to still be real.
So, other than emotional intelligence, what is it from your perspective to be more human than what we've ever been before?
I think for me, it it allows me to be more of a people person.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that's super awesome for some people that would probably say that they're not people persons. But because AI can do the grunt work so quickly,
Yeah.
like when I'm writing a new proposal for a new client, I mean, proposals could take hours in the
Mm.
past. But now with systems and technology, a proposal is written in a split second.
Hmm.
And so now I have extra time to go, okay, how do I surprise and delight? How do I wow the person on the receiving end of this proposal? If they're getting three of these, what can I do as a human being to make ours feel different? And I think it was easy years ago to say, gosh, how do you have time to think like that?
Mm.
And I think now the question is, how do you not have time to think like that? Because if you're still spending all your hours in all the stuff that AI could be doing, you're just missing the opportunity to connect in the way that AI never will be able to.
Hmm.
And that is through being human beings.
Hmm. Um, it's interesting because when you said, how do I surprise and delight? It goes back to these open-ended questions that we can ask ourselves that set our intentions and our emotions and our mindset onto this really amazing trajectory. Like
Yeah.
you get up in the morning, and one of the things more recently is what magic am I going to create today? Right?
I like that.
I was
Yeah.
in a Tony Robbins event, and one of the trainers was talking, and she said, when, because you review questionnaires, because everyone fills questionnaires out. This was Date with Destiny. And she said, before I even read the questionnaire, she said, I go in and I ask myself, what am I going to love about this person?
Mm,
So when you set that as the thing that you're scanning for, guess
yeah.
what? You find lots of things.
Absolutely.
When you go into a proposal that otherwise could be dry, and like you said, the painful hours of doing it, it's like, how do I make this special?
Right.
How do I let someone know that I care?
Right.
And when you ask for it, you're scanning the environment for it, and you will find it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the beauty of it is that when we're talking about humanness is about feelings and connections, right? It's about hearing and feeling and being heard.
Yeah.
All the stuff that, yeah, you can go down an interesting path with chat to where maybe you feel that way. But it's also about someone who's going to challenge your thinking in a way that's
Yes.
like, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I don't think you're hearing what I'm hearing, so that we can at
Yeah.
least mirror and call things out for people. And I think there's beauty in that,
Yeah.
to be able to show up that way for other humans. Yeah, I like that.
Good.
Um, I had just a question came to mind for me. In your career and the stuff you've done from pastor to roofer to serial entrepreneur, so I know you have a company of VAs.
Yep.
And then the books that you write. I don't know what else you're in. I do love your hats because, like I told you, I see you everywhere now. On
And
my
I actually did
feed.
my hair for you today.
It's looking good. It's
Thank you.
looking good.
Thank you.
What are you most proud of? And what are you most excited about?
Gosh, that's a great question. I think what I am most proud of right now, and hopefully that answer changes. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Um, I I am really proud right now of watching my wife and I's like influence be played out in my middle daughter, who she's starting club volleyball for the first time and beginning to find herself, and she has her first tournament this weekend, and so I am really loving watching her and going, man, we made that. Like
Uh-huh.
she is that way because of us. And sometimes that's a bad thing, but there's beginning to be more good moments. And I'm really proud of that. And I'm also just extremely proud. Like my wife and I just celebrated 16 years of marriage in November. And it's
Congratulations.
sad. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know y'all have been married for a long time, and it it's just so sad to when you look at the data of like how long beyond what we should have made it that we've made
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
And so, every year that we get to add another number to the total, I'm really happy for it. And even more happy that it's because we still love each other and we love being around
Yeah.
each other and we're each other's best friend. It's not like, well, we're just gonna stick it out for the kids, but we genuinely enjoy each other's company. And man, in a world where it feels like every other day somebody's saying they're single on Facebook, um, I'm pretty darn proud of that.
Yeah. I love that. I love
What
that.
was the and what was the looking forward to?
Excited, excited. What are you most excited about? Looking
So
forward to.
I right now my virtual assistant company is growing really fast, and my business partner is going over to the Philippines next month for the first time. And so I love obviously the business side of it is great. Making money is great.
Yeah,
But there's a huge ministry side to this for us, and getting to serve people on the other side of the world that don't get all the same opportunities that we
yeah,
have in America. And so I am so excited to just continue to wake up knowing that every day is full of purpose,
yeah,
and that we're gonna, grow something substantial here that is gonna wow anything beyond what I could have ever imagined possible for my life. And
yeah.
so it's a lot of fun.
That's a cool thing. I think I saw the picture that you got a holiday party or something that you
Yeah.
posted where everybody was on, Zoom and all the little boxes were there and people with their hats and the whole bit. So that was cool. That was cool. I freaking love what you're doing. I just
Thank you.
it's a neat space that you're in, and this what I really appreciate is the swim lanes that you've got. So, it's one thing that helps support something else that helped support something else. So I'm really excited to follow and see what else is going on.
Thank you.
It's cool stuff. And like I said, your quote, I did need to hear that today. So I do appreciate that.
You're
Um,
so welcome.
what based on all the different stuff, and I know it wasn't a podcast on AI, but based on all the stuff that we talked about today, what are one or two things that you would love people to walk away with?
I I know my first one would be from the quote that everybody watching, listening to this, no matter your industry, no matter your ideal client, the bottom line is people need to remember you. And the only way for that to happen is for you to show up more often.
Mm,
And so get over yourself, quit trying to have the perfect marketing plan, just show up in front of people with the right passion and purpose and posture. And I think you'll watch some incredible things happen in your business in 2026. The second thing, because we did talk about AI, please don't be the person that goes and buries your head in the sand and acts as if this isn't real, this isn't a thing, it's a fad, it's going to go away. Because you would be blown away if you would just say, you know what? I trust Michelle for sure because you listen to her podcast. Maybe this Kyle guy is trustworthy. The jury's still out. But imagine where you could be if you just said, you know what, in 2026, I'm going to spend 10 minutes a day just playing around with AI, just playing around, no purpose. I'm just going to ask it questions and I'm going to go, man, you know what? What's the one thing holding me back in my business right now? And I'm going to go like journal some stuff in AI around that struggle and just ask it a question. And I think people will be blown away at the outcome of that and that they'll realize it becomes an incredible helper to them and not a
hmm
hindrance.
hmm
And gosh, I think if people would walk away with those two things, they'll be
mm.
better off in the new year.
Um, the comment I would make on the AI stuff, because I'm bobbleheading and agreeing with you, is that if you don't know where to start, ask AI where to start.
That's right. Yeah.
Just put in the question, hey, I've never used this before. I'm new to it. How can you help me? What kind of questions can I ask? Where should I start?
Yep.
Um, and it is a learning model too. And so the thing that you touched on is over time, and people have done this a lot in the last year, but over time it gets to know you, the style
Right.
of your writing, the question asking, the stuff that you're looking for, what you do for business, all that stuff. And you can ask it, based on all that you know about me, where are my blind spots? Where are my
Yeah.
missed opportunities? Where are things that I can lean in more that I'm not currently leaning into? And just sit back and be amazed at
Right.
the response that you get. Because it has been listening and paying attention
That's right.
to everything that you're asking about.
Yep.
So yeah. Um, it's exciting times. I think the other thing when you were talking about in reference to the quote that, it doesn't have to be right or, whatever, just reach out. Um, the word perfect came to mind for me because I am a recovering perfectionist. And
Yeah.
so don't look for something to be right or perfect or
Yeah.
whatever. It can be directionally correct. Do you see the sun coming in? It looks like I just arrived in heaven.
That's right. You look great.
It's coming in. The sun is poking out of the clouds. Um, but just reach out and you can reach out to somebody to say, hey, so and so told me I should connect with you, or I saw the post about XYZ and I'm really interested in learning more about what you do,
Yeah.
what's going on. Or, hey, I'm interested in this space. This is the experience I've had. What advice do you have for me? Any number of things can be that. Just start. Just
Yeah.
start. That's all you have to do.
That's
So,
it.
yeah,
So good.
cool. I appreciate the time. Coach
Yes.
Kyle Draper with Rethink Everything. And so I look forward because I have it on my list to read at least the first one on social media. And then
You'll like it.
I would love to partner with you on some stuff. So
That's
great
going to happen.
time, great day. Thanks for your time. This is Leadership Soundbites on behalf of Michelle and Kyle. Please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. I'll tell you how to get a hold of Kyle. Have a freaking